Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, The Ringer has dropped a new NBA mock draft, so our job is to look at it, react to it, and do what we have to do. I'm gonna be honest, I saw one of the picks, and it was actually pretty surprising. It was the Miami Heat at 15, so looking forward to that. But yeah, it's their new mock draft. Apparently, it's looking like Zachary Rissache might be the new favorite to go number one, so if um we'll see if Kevin O'Connor has it as well. But yeah, I'm excited. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, go into the description and submit your video ideas. Comment what you think about this mock draft. Comment other stuff you want me to react to, but usually I want you to put that in the description in the submit video ideas link to Google Form. But yeah, let's get right into it. Should be a fun one. So as you can see right here, updated June 4th, which is the day I'm reacting to it. And with the first overall pick, Kevin O'Connor does have Zachary Sachet to the Atlanta Hawks. I talked about how I would rather Alex Sarr to the Hawks, but honestly, I don't hate Sachet. In this draft specifically, there's not a clear number one. Last year, obviously, Victor Wembanyama. The year before, it fluctuated a lot. Some people had Chet, some people had Jabari Smith, some people had um, Paolo Banchero. Looks like Paolo Banchero was the right choice so far. And then it's always something. Sometimes you'll have a clear number one guy. This year is not that. I mean, there's a couple of guys we could see at number one, but Zachary Sachet is the choice. If the Hawks do take Zachary Sachet, I'd be interested to see whether or not they decide to move on from Clint Capella, if they want to give the full reins to Onyeka Okongwu, or just continue with what that front court looks like right now. I think whatever happens in this draft for them at pick number one, whether they trade the pick, whether they draft Risache, whether they draft Sarr, I think they should move on from Capella. I just think you're not utilizing Onyeka Okongwu to his full potential, and I think at his highest potential, Okongwu is probably going to be a better player than Clint Capella. But Zachary Risache at pick one, I'm not mad at it. It's just what I personally would not do. Pick two, we have Alex Sarr. Makes sense. If Alex Sarr doesn't go one, the Wizards would be pretty dumb not to take him at two. They have a big gap at center. Right now, it's Tristan Vukcevic, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes. That's really nothing. I mean, Marvin Bagley, you could argue, is more of a four. And even then, is he really going to stop you from picking arguably the best player in this draft? No. So it's a good pick for the Wizards at two. Not too much to say about that one. At pick three, we have Clingan to the Rockets. I think Kevin O'Connor has been pretty persistent on pushing Clingan to this third overall spot mostly. I honestly don't really agree with it. I think Clingan's around my 7-8 range on my big board, and I just think the fit specifically to the Rockets here at three doesn't make too much sense. You're not drafting him to most likely I think you're not drafting him to play in the same front court at the same time as Şengün. I mean, Şengün does have the ability to step out from three and to obviously he's an amazing passer, but getting Donovan Clingan for the Rockets, it's most likely he's going to be an off the bench guy. And even next year, you have Steven Adams, who most likely is going to be better than what Donovan Clingan's going to bring you next year. So he probably doesn't play a lot of minutes right away. I mean, your rookies last year, they weren't able to play a lot of minutes right away. Cam Whitmore barely played, but in the time he did, he was good. Amen Thompson started to get minutes down the line. Maybe we see something similar with Donovan Clingan. I just don't think it's the greatest situation for him, just because they have Adams there for another year, I believe, and then obviously Şengün is their number one priority at the center position. Who would I rather see here? Probably more of a wing, maybe even more of a guard like Reed Shepherd. I could see Stephon Castle here. I probably would rather Reed Shepherd to the Rockets specifically. But what I think will happen with this pick is that it will get traded. My next mock draft, my personal mock draft, I will be trading this pick. Pick four, we have the Spurs taking Matas Buzelis. This is definitely interesting. I don't usually see Buzelis this high. To the Spurs, I think if they waited till pick eight, unless you really believe that the Hornets would take him at six, or even the Pistons would take him at five, I think he's definitely a big, or some that the Pistons would definitely look at pick five. So maybe they want to take him here at four and wait for one of the point guards, Dillingham, Castle, Collier to fall to pick eight, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm fine with this pick at pick four, I guess, and it's a little higher than what we usually see Matos Buzelis at this point, but I'm cool with it. I think Buzelis has the opportunity to end up being the best player out of this draft class, so picking him at four, there's no problem with me. I'm cool with this. I think probably I'm going to have him end up being five in my next mock draft to the Pistons, but I don't really mind this pick at all. I think it's a fine pick. Maybe gives Wemby his new running mate down the line because apparently Only two players on the Spurs not available for trade are Victor Wembanyama and Devin Vassell, the way it probably should be. At pick 5, we have Shepard to the Pistons. I think this is the dream fit for the Pistons. If either Shepard or Risa Shea falls to 5, two of the best shooters in this draft class, you have to take them, or one of them. Reed Shepard, amazing during the combine. Obviously, we've been hearing for the what has it been like a month now. He's one of the pure shooters in this draft class. He's a solid defender, solid passer. He makes all the right plays. I mean, he's just a good basketball player to have on your team. Will he ever be an all star? I would bet not, but he's going to be one of the best role players in this league down the line. Think of a Derek White, someone that plays elite defense, hits his threes, and is a good playmaker. I like Reed Shepard out of Kentucky. And for 5 for the Pistons, this is an amazing pick. At pick 6, we have Castle to the Hornets. I've said this is one of my favorite team player um, mocks, or I guess team player picks that I've seen so far in mock drafts and I've personally made, and I still think it's a good one. Whether or not Castle wants to play that lead guard, you might be able to because LaMelo Ball gets injured a lot. But for the meantime, Castle will probably slide right to that shooting guard position, right between LaMelo and Brandon Miller, and then they continue building their team through that. Castle being 6'6", elite lockdown defender. It's exactly what this Hornets team needs. So great pick for the Hornets at pick 6. Pick 7, we have Tijan Salon out of France. I think this is interesting. I guess for a little bit I've been seeing Tijan Salon go in the top 10. I've seen him 8 to the Spurs. I've now seen him 7 to the Blazers. I'm still not so sure. Oh, whoops. I'm still not so sure if I want him this high, but I think he's probably going to end up being a lock in the lottery because there's a lot of teams at the end of the lottery that would be willing to take a younger developmental guy like Tejan Salon. 14, I mean the Blazers can snag him there. 13, that's the 13th overall pick. I don't even remember who was the 13th overall pick, but 12, the Thunder would be able to do that. Even the Bulls at 11. There's a lot of places that Salon could go. And 7 to the Blazers, well, it might seem a little high. I don't think it's too crazy. Just me personally wouldn't have it there. It's not a bad pick. At pick 8, we have Topic to the Spurs. I didn't even mention Topic in the point guards they could possibly get at pick 8. And I think it's looking like Topic will not end up being one of the top 5 or 4 picks in this draft class just because of his injury history. He had 2 big injuries this year. Um, in Serbia in the ABA. So it's going to be tough to see whether or not he's going to be 100% for pre-draft workouts. If he isn't, he most likely will fall even more, maybe to the late lottery, to maybe even falling out of the lottery. But if he is, I expect him to still end up going top 10. I think 8 to the Spurs is a great fit, especially if you're able to get Matas Buzelis as well. It's a great draft for the San Antonio Spurs. Pick 9, we have Kel'el Ware out of Indiana. So I didn't know or Kevin O'Connor specifically was this high on Kel'el Ware. I've loved Kel'el Ware throughout the whole college season. It's cool to see him go pick 9. Maybe makes me want to push him to the lottery a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely interesting for the Grizzlies. Okay, so obviously there's no trades in this mock draft. If Klingon's not available, I imagine they do trade this pick. But Ron Holland's available too. He's going to pass up on him. It's definitely interesting. Kel'el Ware, though, to pick 9, he has good defensive potential, having a 7'5" wingspan. That's pretty insane. He has the ability to step out beyond the 3-point line, hit that shot. He has great touch around the rim. People have questioned his motor, but I think by the time he gets to the league, it's time to turn it up. I think Kel'el Ware will be a good NBA player. I've compared him to Brook Lopez a little bit. I don't think he's as big as him yet, but if he puts on a couple more pounds, he continues to put in the work on the defensive side of the ball, and he does everything we know he could do on the offensive side. Kel'el Ware has a bright future in the NBA, and it's pretty cool to see him in the top 10 in this mock draft. Would I do it though? Probably not. Probably gonna be later, but it's cool to see him this high. At pick 10, we have Cody Williams to Jazz, something I've mocked a couple of times. Like this, fine. Like I've said, Cody Williams does not have the pressure to perform right away with a team like the Jazz. I could say the same thing with the Grizzlies. Maybe might be something different with the Spurs, might be something different with the Blazers. But with the Jazz, he's going to be behind good forwards already in Taylor Hendricks, Laurie Markkinen, even John Collins if you want to consider, or if you want him to stretch to the power forward position, even though I wouldn't really consider him there. There's guys ahead of him, and I think that's going to be good for him right away. Doesn't have to play too much minutes, but I think he should end up getting some minutes off the bench to start his career, but doesn't have to be a starter, isn't forced into a tough situation. He's a raw prospect. He's not going to shoot many shots, it's looking like. So if you can continue to get him comfortable in the league, I think it'll be a great fit to the Jazz at pick 10 and kind of gives you a fun what would I say, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the future if we're planning on keeping Markkinen. Maybe Cody Williams can stretch that shooting guard position. Cody Williams, Markkinen, Taylor Hendricks, and Kessler. That's a pretty fun 2 through 5. And I guess Keontae George could add to that too at the point guard position. It sounds pretty fun to me. At pick 11, I guess I should probably be looking at their player comps. All right, my bad. So first for Visage Shades, MPJ, makes sense. I have that as well. First star at 2, I've seen Jared Jackson. He's going to give him Jackson and Isaac. Also makes sense. Great defenders. Klingon, he gives Roy Hibbert. That's cool. Makes sense. Next up, we have Buzelis. He's going to be giving him Lamar Odom. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen too many people be compared to Lamar Odom, but I guess Buzelis has a bigger point forward. That does make some sense. At pick 5, Reed Shepard. He had him compared to Derek White, like I said. At pick 6, Castle. I hope it doesn't say Anthony Black because I've seen that a little too much, but he has Andre Iguodala. I kind of like that. I think I've seen him compare him to Anthony Black one time, and I don't really like that, but Iguodala is pretty cool. What's not cool though is 26% from three. Tijan Salon is compared to Chandler Parsons, nice role player shooter. Topic is compared to Goran Dragic, not Jokic, not Jovic. Okay, Khalil Ware is compared to Miles Turner, similar frame or similar molds of what Brook Lopez brings you. Cody Williams is giving you Jalen Rose. I guess it does make more sense for Miles Turner because of his athleticism. Brook Lopez is not that athletic. Khalil Ware is athletic. So Miles Turner probably is the better comp. Cody Williams is Jalen Rose. Okay. And at 11, we have Devin Carter to the Bulls. I've also seen something that said someone gave Devin Carter a promise that he will be going into the first round. And by the way, the 13th overall pick is the Kings. I just remembered that. But someone gave him a promise that, oh, not the first one, excuse me, the lottery. Someone gave Devin Carter the promise that he will be a lottery pick. It's probably going to be my next mock draft. He's going to be going in the lottery just because we're trying to mock what's going to happen in real life. But if that's true, I'm kind of interested to see where he ends up going. Is it going to be 11 to the Bulls? They already have a lot of point guards over there. Lonzo Ball coming back, Alex Caruso, Kobe White breaking out, Ayo Sumu. All those guys can be considered point guards. Even Devon Carter. They have a lot of guards over there, so probably wouldn't love that too much. Um, at 12, you have the Thunder. Maybe. I mean, maybe if you want another guard back there with Case and Wallace, you are probably going to be moving on from Josh Giddey, so that would make sense. Um, 14 is the Blazers. With all those guards over there, I don't really see it. So I'm not sure. Maybe he goes even higher. Maybe he's a Spurs guy at pick 8, which would be pretty cool. Maybe Pop does buy into that defense. But there's a lot of opportunities. At pick 12, we have Zach Edey to the Thunder. I think in my ESPN mock draft reaction, I said that Zach Edey can go high in this draft, and I still believe it. I just said I wouldn't like him to the Heat specifically at 15. But Edey at 12, honestly, it's not too crazy. I don't mind this. Um, yeah, a lot of people are probably gonna hate on this because it was Zach Edey. They don't want to see Zach Edey succeed. They think Zach Edey is not the prototypical new NBA center. And well, that is true. He's been dominating at the college level. So what do you want him to do? You want him to step out to three? That's not a strong suit. He's gonna do what he's good at, and he's been doing that for 2 straight years, being basically the best at it. So Zach Edey here at pick 12. Okay, I think this is fine. Probably some teams I would rather see the fit to. Um, I really like, or I would really like him go to the Pelicans maybe at 21. I could also see the Bucks at 24. If he falls 26 to the Wizards, I think that'd be my favorite. But 12, maybe a little bit high. Maybe I'm talking myself out of it. But honestly, Zach Edey's probably going to go a lot higher than what we all think is going to happen during the NBA draft. At pick 13, by the way, stats 25 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. That's insane. Don't connect to the Kings at 13. Yeah, if he falls this far, it's a great pick for the Kings. No excuse. This is an amazing pick. Can possibly be your. I wasn't looking at the last couple of comps. Devin Carter was Bruce Brown. Okay, I'm not sure I like that. Zubac for Edey, and then we have for Connect KCP Max Strus. Sure, he's going to be a shooter right away. He could possibly be your Malik Monk replacement. I'm cool with this for the Kings. I think it's a great scenario for them. Great pick and it's amazing value to it. They can even go higher in this draft. At pick 14, we have the Blazers taking Ron Holland. They took Solano with their first, and they're taking Holland with their second. Okay, if Ron Holland does fall here to 14, it's a good pick. Not too much I can say about it. I don't think he falls this far, but it's a great pick for the Blazers. 15, we see Rob Dillingham to the Miami Heat. This was the pick I was talking about. I have not seen him this far since the college season ended. Probably even since conference play started in the college basketball season. But with his defensive liabilities, with his maybe suspect playmaking, I think it'll be okay. It was okay at Kentucky, but before then it was a little iffy. So with his defense liabilities, suspect playmaking, only being 6'1", there's a great chance Rob Dillingham might slip a little bit in this draft. If he does, I'd be kind of surprised if it was the Miami Heat to take a shot at him. I would probably expect at about pick 12 a team to trade up because we know the Thunder do not need all these rookies on their team. So if he falls past pick 12, I think there's a real chance that some team down the line is going to try to trade up for him. But yeah, to the Heat specifically, doesn't really match what Eric Spoelstra wants in his guards. Being, I guess, short isn't too crazy, but being a liability on defense, he's just not going to match that Heat culture. He's probably going to get picked apart. This will be definitely hard for me to see the Heat take a guy like Rob Dillingham, but if it's good value, it's a fine thing. At pick 16, we have Carrington. Keep on forgetting to look at these player comps. Ron Hollins, Harrison Barnes, theoretical Josh Jackson. Okay. Rob Dillingham. We got Lou Williams, Bones Island, I guess, sure. And then Bub Carrington at 16. His player comp is big Lou Williams, kind of like that. Yeah, I think there's a great chance the 76ers go take guard here with Isaiah Collier still being available, probably would surprise me a little bit that they're not leading him. But with Bub Carrington being 6'4", 6'5" with shoes on, he has great versatility at that guard position. He can play the two. He has a great pull-up jump shot. He's great at coming off his screens. It's going to be very interesting to see what role Bub Carrington has coming into the NBA. I'd like to see him get a lot of minutes right away, but realistically, if he's going to go to a team like the 76ers, he might not get that opportunity. Even though the 76ers do have a lot of free agents coming up this offseason, so maybe he does. I like this pick, Big Lou Williams, Bob Carrington. Pick 17, we have the Lakers getting Jared McCain. If the Lakers got Jared McCain, I would be very happy. Obviously, I can say part-time. I can say part-time Lakers fan because they don't make it past the first round anymore. Part-time Lakers fan, part-time Knicks fan. I'm cool with this. LeBron gets another shooter the pass to. I, if he falls to 17, I'd be pretty amazed, but I like this pick a lot. Seth Curry, sure. Two Duke guys. At pick 18, we have Tyler Kolek to the Magic, getting them a lead guard. Honestly, would I be surprised if they traded this pick? I mean, if it's going to be for Darius Garland or Trey Young, no, I would not be surprised if they trade the pick because it's most likely going to be in the deal. But if they keep it, I probably would rather see them take big man here. BC has yet to come off the board, but Kolek's not bad. I think he'll definitely end up being a first rounder. Maybe it'll be the Brandon Podjemski situation from a year ago. I know two left-handed white guards, so there's that comparison. But just as a underrated guard coming into the draft, might be viewed as a late first or early second, and then all of a sudden he's at pick 19 to the Golden State Warriors, or in his case, pick 18 to the Orlando Magic. I think they both have similar capabilities. I think Podjemski's definitely a little bit more athletic, but Kolek, they're both. I guess Kolek's actually shorter than I thought, but they both are good shooters. They both are good passers. Color defense, we'll see. But overall, it's a fine pick to the Magic. I would rather see Yves Missi, though. His comparison is Brunson and Goran Dragic. McCain is, like I said, Seth Curry. Pick 19, the Raptors still end up getting Jacoby Walter. I think this is probably one of my favorite fits of this draft, especially if Walter falls to 19. That's going to be great value. We'll see whether or not he goes in the lottery anymore. There's a lot of guys fluctuating up, and then there's a couple guys going down, like Rob Dillingham, Isaiah Collier, who we haven't even seen yet, Jacoby Walter. But yeah, most of the guards, I guess. But I think this is a good pick for the Raptors. It gets them a new, fresh young guard to try to develop. You have going into next year. You have quickly have Walter, and assuming they pick him. You're gonna have Scotty Barnes, R.J. Barrett, Jakob Poeltl. They have a lot of nice pieces to build around. Grady Dick. It's gonna be fun to see this Raptors team, complete this rebuild that they're going on because I think they're a lot closer than what people think. At pick 20, we have Cavs getting De Silva. I like this a lot. Whether or not you move on from Jared Allen this offseason, maybe De Silva can slide right into that power forward position. Maybe, maybe not. I think De Silva's really NBA ready, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he did. I know it's crazy for a 20 or 20th overall rookie to come in right away and start in the NBA, but I think De Silva kind of has those tendencies where he can bring a winning environment right away to the Cleveland Cavaliers. give them good defense, give them good shooting, give them good athleticism. Walter was Chris Middleton, and Tristan da Silva is a Kyle Anderson. Okay, definitely a faster Kyle Anderson, but Anderson makes sense, similar size. At pick 21, Yves Missi to the Pelicans. It's a great pick, great fit, good value overall. Nothing to be mad at right here. Jalen Duren, kind of interesting. Not what is Jalen Duren listed height? Because I thought Duren's probably a little bit shorter than what Yves Missi has listed at. But Jalen Duren height is 6'10". All right, let's see what his combine height was, because I'm pretty sure he's not 6'10". His combine height was, if you can get it, do I gotta do this whole thing? Did he not even measure? I mean, what am I looking at here? Looks like he didn't measure. It was height with shoes, height without shoes. Colin Gillespie was 6'1.5" without shoes. That's honestly pretty impressive. Thought he was shorter than that. But sure, Yves Missi, good center. I kind of like the Clint Capella fit a little bit better, or comparison a little bit better, but I guess Duran's fine. Athleticism, lob threat, he's everything you want in a center. Defense as well. I think he'll end up being a very good NBA player. Can maybe fill out to the Clint Capella, like I said, type of role to the NBA. If he gets a good point guard to get a nice pick and roll duo with, I think he'll thrive in the league. At pick 22, we have Collier to the Suns. Now, it begs the question, if the Suns go into draft night without trading their first round pick and Collier falls all the way to them at 22, do they still trade it? Because apparently they really want to trade the pick, and it's looking like it would be crazy if they didn't trade the pick. But if a prospect like Isaiah Collier was still available, would you still be willing to trade that pick? Definitely a question. Tyreek Evans, Emmanuel Mudiay for Isaiah Collier. Yes, the Suns need a point guard, but I still imagine even with Collier available on the board, they would look to move this pick because they need immediate um, good basketball play. Maybe Isaiah Collier can't bring that to you, but if he does, and if you keep the pick, I'd like it a lot. 23, we have Klintman to the Bucks. From Sweden, played at Wake Forest last year. His comps are Trevor Ariza and Nick Batum. Yeah, I like him a lot. His listed height is 6'10". I think he could play anywhere between the 3 and the 5. I think he could possibly defend anywhere between the 3 and the 5 in the league. I really love his versatility. I'd love if he fell down to the Knicks at 24, 25. But realistically, honestly, could he be a sure first round pick? I'm not sure. But the Magic's a good fit. There's not too many centers left on the board that you be willing to take here at 23 with Edie off the board. So I like this pick. Clement's not a center, but he definitely has good positional versatility. At pick 24, we have the Knicks taking Johnny Furphy. Like this, probably won't play right away because Tibbs doesn't play rookies. But as a guy going into the future, as a nice 6'8" catch and shoot guy, he could put the ball on the floor a little bit. I'd like this a lot for the New York Knicks, especially as a part-time Knicks fan. This would make me pretty happy if he fell all the way to 24. Cam Johnson, Doug McDermott just shows you how good of a spot-up shooter is. I think he has one of the purest and highest arcing, or not arcing, but more like set shot forms there is in this draft class. So I think it would be a great fit to the Knicks. Here's Jalen Brunson, another guard to kick it out to. Tyler Smith at 25. Also, I'd love this as a part-time Knicks fan. Yeah, if Tyler Smith drops to 25, the Knicks are able to snag him. I like it a lot. Similar to Bobby Clinton, I think he has positional versatility. Can he be a small ball big in the league? Maybe, but he could also play that 3 position where he could spot up in the corner and shoot that rock. I like this a lot for the New York Knicks. If they're able to get Furphy and Tyler Smith in this draft, I'd be very happy. Pick 26, Pacomi Dadiet out of France. I'd like to push this first round narrative. A lot of people haven't been doing it, but I'd like to do this. Tyler Smith, by the way, comps are Charlie Villanueva. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Pacome Dadiet falls all the way to 26, even though it's not really a fall. If he ends up getting drafted 26, I'd be pretty happy. If you watch this guy's tape, it's clear physically that he was above all of his peers. I mean, being 6'8", insanely athletic, being able to stretch the floor, even averaging 6.6 points, those little bursts of potential of play that we've seen from Dadiet, I think it makes him a first round pick in this draft. In my next mock draft, he'll for sure be going in the first round. At pick 27, we have KJ Simpson to the Timberwolves. Timberwolves need guard play. Monte Morris might leave this free agency. Mike Conley's like 36 years old. He's getting old. So let's get someone like KJ Simpson who's able to stick right into that backup point guard position, give you good scoring, burst of energy, burst of scoring as well. Like I said, 20 points per game in college while shooting 43% from three. Very impressive. George Hill, Fred VanVleet, undersized guards, able to make a good impact on the league. I think KJ Simpson can do that as well. At pick 28, have Deron Holmes to the Denver Nuggets. I know, I like this a lot. Apparently he's shutting down his draft workouts, which means he has a promise. I think that's pretty cool. That means he probably goes in the first round because usually you would not shut down your draft workouts if you had a promise in the second round. But if DeRozan is going to go in the first round, I'd be a happy guy. I've liked him in the late first round the whole year, and it looks like he's finally getting that recognition that he's probably going to end up being that late first round big man. I like him to the to the Nuggets. I think he can have a Nas Reed type impact on them. I think he could be a roaming forward who's able to hit the three. Hopefully that jump shot gets a little bit faster. Who's able to hit the three, drive down to the paint. Probably doesn't have the same finesse that Nas Reed has, but he's athletic. He's able to move on his feet. He's not slow-footed at all. And I think at 28 to the Nuggets, it'd be a great fit for Deron Holmes. At pick 29, we have Keyshawn George to the Jazz. I think he's another guy who, at this point, might be a lock in the first round. I know we say this a lot, and usually every year someone falls out. Last year, it was Ryan Rupert. This year, see, is it going to be a Keyshawn George? Is it going to AJ Johnson at 30? Is it going to be a Bobby Clinton? Is it going to be a Pokum Dadiet? Is it going to be a Tyler Smith maybe? There are a lot of guys who might just fall out of the first round. Is it going to be Kevin McCullough like this mock draft has? We'll see though. Holmes, his player comp was Jalen Smith, and Keyshawn George's player comp is Joe Ingles. Okay. At pick 30, AJ. Oh, it's this 2 round mock draft. We'll go fast in the second round. And Kyle Filipowski falls out. I like that. AJ Johnson here. So much potential in this guy. Only 19 years old. He's very athletic, very shifty with the ball. He can play the 1 or the 2 in the league. He's going to be more of a combo guard. I like the comp of Nick Young. Only 2.9 points in the NBL might turn you off a little bit, but there's all sorts of intangibles that we see in AJ Johnson that would make us think he's a lock to go at least in the early second round. There's no way he falls out of this draft in full. So I like AJ Johnson a lot. Not sure if he goes in the first round, but I think as a second round guy, the team's going to be very happy. 31, we got Filipowski. I mean, as much as he falls down, the more I'll be happy. That's fine. At 32, Harrison Ingram. Okay, maybe a little bit high. Shireman at 33 definitely is locked into the second round, maybe even early second round. Trent Flowers at 34. Okay. Jamal Shed 35. Him with Popovich would be very fun. Cam Christie at 36. I think he might be a sneaky first round guy that we might see as we inch up to draft day. Maybe there's a team a lot earlier than we expect to take a shot on Cam Christie. Where do the Magic pick? Magic might be able to take a shot at Cam Christie. Let's see where they pick. The Magic this year are picking at pick 18. Don't be surprised if we have a little bit of a Cam Christie surprising pick at pick 18. But who knows? We have Christie at 36, Ryan Dunn at 37. The Timberwolves get more and more defensive guys. Jurisic at 38, good pick for the Knicks. Jalen Tyson at 39. Well, a lot of people are having him out of the first round. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to be a first round guy, like for sure. Maybe he's one of the guys who fall out, though. You don't know. Or Kamshe at 40. Also, Gadaro at 41, Justin Edwards 42, Terrence Shannon Jr. 43, Jonathan Mogbo 44, Ethan Almanza 45, Kevin McCullough Jr. all the way down to 46 would be a great pickup for the Clippers. Taylor Larson 47. I'm not gonna be looking at the player comps just because it's the second round. We're gonna go a little bit faster. Melvin Ajinka 48. Tristan Newton 49. He's already started his pre-draft workout process. I think he has 4 already so far. So it's looking like he might be gonna say so-called lock, but I wouldn't be pretty surprised if he fell out of the second round. Keyshawn Johnson 50. I like that a lot for the Pacers. PJ Hall 51. Dem Bona 52. Nice, another nice just short athletic big man they could add to that team to go along with Trace Jackson Davis and Kevon Looney. Jalen Bridges at 53. Zion Pullen at 54. Ronnie James to the Lakers at 55. Okay. Dylan Jones, 56 to the Nuggets. Kind of low, but okay. Being 6'4" is not going to help him. I think he's definitely a little bit undersized or at least shorter than what we thought he was going to be going into the combine. I expect him to be at least 6'5.5", but being a whole inch shorter is going to be big. Yep. AJ Mitchell, 57. A little low, but I think it's fine. And at 58, we have Jalen Wells out of Washington. So a couple guys who did not go in the smart drafts. the big man out of the Washington. His name's escaping my head right now, but I don't believe I saw him go in this mock draft. But overall, this is a fun mock draft. There was a lot of versatility in this mock draft. Sounds like I'm describing a player, but this mock draft went in a lot of ways. It dropped Filipowski out. It pushed guys up like a who was a little bit higher than expected. It pushed down guys like Isaiah Collier. Pushed down guys like Walter. Pushed up guys like maybe a Kolick and Carrington. Pushed down Rob Dillingham. Collins a little bit lower than we expected. Connect was pretty good. Don't really mention that. Edie being at 12. Devin Carter being at 11. That's going to be big. Cody Williams at 10. Khalil Ware all the way up to 9. I like that. Topic, and then obviously we know the top. I think this was a fun mock draft. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video, and yeah, see you next time.